do our sync and then let's shout this out.
Link it, and then Brady pop them all up on screen right now, and we're gonna go over
Stop telling him to edit things.
Bussin' or disgusting. All right. Look at Ash's. Bussin'. Gonna look at mine. Bussin'. Gonna look at Brady's. Disgusting. Look at that zigzag.
No, that zigzag is so hype.
Sussin'. Why you got a Gothitelle in there?
Sussin'. Gothitelle is a very sus Pokemon to like, because if you're a singles player, you're cringe, because it's like, why you want Gothitelle unbanned? That thing 1v1's literally everything.
Yeah.
As a doubles player, though, it's like mid at best.
Hey guys, what's a caveman's favorite type of music?
Rock. Hard rock.
Progressive metal.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah. Oh, it would be, because they discovered tools and shit.
It's the jerk, Michael.
Exactly. They know progression, and they will know metal. Not yet.
Soon they will know metal.
Can you imagine being in, like, the Bronze Age?
There'd be a lot of I cannot.
Nerd.
I don't think. I see all of these. No, okay.
As a competitive gamer, every day for me is the Bronze Age.
I see all of these, like, you know, period pieces. Like, Bridgerton came out, like, a few months ago, and then, like, everyone would not shut up about it. My mom watched the whole thing on the TV in the living room, and so I had to see it, because it was always there. And I look at these fantasy settings, and I'm like, or at least not fantasy necessarily, but just like, you know, 1800s, 17, yeah, period pieces. That's the word. And I'm like, ye old, exactly. I look at these pieces, and I'm like, wow, this seems really nice and fancy. And all these people in their beautiful dresses and their nice fancy food, and they 100% shit in a tunnel, like somewhere a mile off from where they are right now. And that is the one thing I can't get behind.
No, my whole thing is that, like, all those TV shows have, like, very explicit sex scenes, right? And whenever those things happen in the TV shows, I can't help but think, like, you know you're all disgusting, right?
Yeah.
You know you're all dirty as hell down there. I can't watch this. And then I click off and go get Dunkin' Donuts.
These motherfuckers took a shower last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why when I've been watching One Piece, everyone's like, "Oh my god, look at all this sexy One Piece women," and I'm like, you know they don't shower.
They probably smell like shit.
Yep. That's how I think for Fire Emblem too.
One, they're cartoons. Two, they're cartoons that don't shower.
That's funny as like pirates and shit, right? Like,
yeah. I had a friend
who...
Like... Oh, no, you go.
I feel like I'm like one step off of scurvy. I can't lie. I clean very rarely.
What?
Scurvy is... Michael, scurvy is a... You know what? I don't know your eating habits, but scurvy comes about from eating habits. Michael, do you have fruit a lot?
No.
Then yeah.
And
then you get scurvy.
Michael's becoming a bit of a pirate, we see. Set him out into the ocean. He's gonna get
Me when my gums bleed. Is this a One Piece reference?
God.
I need to go on a little pirate adventure. I need to take a weekend off and then just
Michael's got the gum fruit, but it makes his gums bleed.
Michael does not get arrested arc. Michael gets lost at sea arc.
I like that arc. I want that.
Michael does get arrested, but for piracy.
Oh, we're all a little guilty of that.
Like, honestly though, like I just like getting lost and exploring things.
Yeah, exploring is very fun.
I've not been outside in forever.
That's freakish behavior. I hate that sort of shit.
That's not. Nah, dude, just go on a bike trail, walk in a straight line until you forget where you are, and all you have to do is go the opposite direction.
No, that's free. That's free.
You can't.
Why would you say that?
Not until you forget. Not until you forget, because then you're fucked.
No, when you forget is the fun part.
No, it's not.
I don't know about you, but I generally like being in situations where I know where I am.
It's not that I don't like adventure. I just don't like being in situations where someone could pull up on me with a gun and then I'm just done.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. It depends on where you're at. I'm thankfully in bougie.
I don't like being in situations.
Like Michael, I'm where you are. You can't go walking. Well, I mean, I can't go walking in a forest. You probably can. But
I definitely can.
That's neither here nor there.
You are on like the boundary of where it gets bad, so I'm good.
Uh-oh. Yeah. Don't ever put me in a situation.
Where I was from, they would like you.
What?
They're like me.
If you were from where I was from, they would like you.
Nah, dude, I'm telling y'all, at viewer, at listener that's like bored
No,
of monotony,
don't listen to
go
them.
get
Don't
lost
listen
in
to
a
them.
forest. I'm
Don't
telling
listen
you,
to
listen
him.
to me.
Don't
That
listen to
sounds
him.
like an insult. Go get lost in the
He's
forest.
trying. He's got this kidnapping ring that he's putting.
Yo! What the fuck?
He's telling you to go to the forest. Don't listen to him.
Yeah, if you see like a caveman looking guy in the forest, it's probably me.
Welcome to
Just
the
hunched over in a cave.
Welcome to
Podcast.
the Round Podcast, where Michael is a little gremlin living in the forest. Ooh,
Forest creature.
little
That's kind of based of you, I think.
gremlin guy.
I need like trail cam footage of Michael.
I
Like
should
the
make
fucking-
that. Maybe next time I go out, I just strap my phone to my head.
It's like
No, like tape your phone to a tree and make it look like trail cam. So there's like cameras they set up to like, and they take pictures when they detect motion to like look at animals and stuff. I need that, but you like crawling around on all fours like this.
What the fuck? No, I'm not like that demonic.
it's like the
Like the fucking rake. Remember the rake?
oh yeah, dude, for
Rake.
a rake. You don't remember?
Of course
the
I
rake?
know him. He's me.
Yeah, hold
I
on,
have
look.
the rake. It's
I've
like
got a picture.
It's like a creepypasta thing.
Look, it's Michael IRL. There he is.
You got big old hands.
Oh, ew. I don't
Yeah.
like that. I don't like that.
No, no,
yeah,
no,
don't
no,
go
they got a
outside at
point.
night, though.
They got a
At night
point.
is scary. The forest is not cool at night.
You know what? The more I think about it, the more that looks like Michael. I'm down with it.
He's bald, so he's not a Michael-like.
We get like
Yeah.
we get like the
That sounds like a
AI.
video game genre. Michael likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, we've talked about this plenty of times in the past. But there are plenty of video game or anime characters that just look like me.
Yeah, we're gonna play a Michael-like genre video game. It's where you go out into the woods and then you don't know where you are.
That's the Michael.
Really.
Sounds
I would
awesome.
love to play. Dude, I would love to play a video game. like
You're a freak.
Hey,
get it
Michael,
lost,
there's
it's
this
fun.
cool like free game that you can get right now called Slender. It's kind of niche and pretty old, but I think you'd enjoy it because it's
think
got
you'd
that
en-
kind of theming to it.
I think you'd like that game, Michael.
No.
You know what?
it's
The
dark and
fact that you
scary.
just brought up Slender just threw me all the way the hell back
It's like
to whenever
The
the,
Rake
hell that
didn't,
was.
but Slender
Like
did.
literally, like the first thing that popped in my head was like Slender. Ha! Chuck Norris played Slender and he got 9 pages.
Oh my god, you are like in 2012. What the fuck?
yeah, dude. This is like
Chuck
the
Norris meme is crazy.
it's like the whiplash of like, oh no, 2018 was 4 years ago. It's like, ugh. Like it's like the same sort of thing. It's like when you say, oh yeah, Smash Bros. Melee is like 10 years old, right? You look back, it's actually 20 years old. But it's like the concept of like 10-year-old games that we've been
Smash
talking about.
Bros. Smash Bros. May not be 4 years old, but all your opponents that you beat are.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
You
It's all
graduate, the
fucked up.
pipeline is playing video games to getting lost in a forest. You get older, and then you just want to go on adventures.
We need to talk about the physics major to PokeTuber pipeline that is very real.
I'm the other way. I'm backwards. I'm PokeTuber to physics major.
Are you gonna?
It
No,
literally is. It's just
but I
doing
want
science
to,
and
bro.
space shit.
No, it's not space shit. I have an internship looking at weird. They got this weird wavelength from a bunch of Saturn's moons, and they don't know what it is. So it could be machine error, but it could be just some chemical that they haven't identified yet.
That's
and so,
my favorite thing about science is it could be a machine error, but what if it isn't?
But what if it isn't? So I get to sit around and sift through that shit. But I've been thinking about physics recently, and it's just crazy. Physics is crazy. Quantum
Physics
shit is
isn't
crazy.
just crazy; it's everything.
Yeah.
For me, physics is cool to be one of those YouTube shorts where it's like, I put ferro fluid on a magnet. What happens? That's the extent of physics to me. I'm cool
I
in studying
see.
it. I don't really need to do that.
No, that's fair.
The only thing I really know about physics is like forces and shit, like gravity. Like I had to do that for like, when I was in high school, I did the advanced like maths. So it's like we had to learn like forces and shit.
It's only after drawing a free body diagram do you realize just how unfree you are.
Oh.
Hey, you want to know a fun fact?
Yes.
Gravity is time, and time is gravity.
Yes, well, kinda.
Kind of. Gravity cannot exist without time, and time cannot exist without gravity.
It's more that the force of gravity can bend time. So how do I say it? Space. You're thinking space and time. Space and time are the same thing.
Yes.
They're the exact same thing. And space, the curve of space, or was it mass determines how space curves, and the way space curves determines how time moves. That's like the basic way of putting it.
Yeah.
Welcome to the Route 1 podcast.
I'm lost. I'm seeing space right now. I'm just like,
Whoa. It's too early to be
thinking about the
thinking that much.
dude, I'm still thinking about the forest, man. Like, fucking, I'm not ready for all that.
You're actually freakish. Holy shit. I don't get it at all.
I know. Here,
You know, I was going to offer to
Okay,
drive
being
you
in
to
the forest is
Milwaukee with me
nice.
and my girlfriend, but now I'm scared to have you in the back seat. I'm going to need you up front where I can keep an eye on you.
Yeah, put your girlfriend in the back seat and have the boys up front. What the fuck?
Dude, it's like,
Leah, this is Michael. I haven't seen Michael in a longer time than I've seen you, so he gets to sit in the front.
That's crazy.
that's awesome. But yeah.
Dude.
I love just, I don't know, freedom to like hang out with people again now. I've finished my semester just this past week. Like, I don't have to wake up and go to school tomorrow, and it's just.
Do you want? No. I graduated.
Yeah,
Every
Marcos
day
did
I wake
graduate.
up- every day I wake up and I go, what the fuck?
I
You know
am
what? Me too.
dying for that. I have one more year.
Make sure you have a job when you finish. I'm still job hunting.
No, like, I'm pretty confident I won't, so I'm just trying to
Oh yeah, I
get, like,
forgot you're an artist.
yeah, I'm trying to get a lot of credit up before that. That way I'm like, I have at least something.
You can get a job. They got something for you somewhere in
art
some
school
place
is
at some point in time. Maybe not this time, but at some point in the time. But that time might have already passed. Who knows?
I could probably, like, submit to someplace and work in a cubicle, but then I'd want to kill myself, so, like...
Yeah, don't do that.
I
Don't do
wanna
that.
I don't want to do that at all. So, like, the fact
You
that
will want
right
to
now
explode.
I'm grinding my ass off to get, like, projects under my name that are like, yo, I did that. If anybody needs shit like that, I can do that. That's like,
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what's gonna save me after college.
You could
you've got
you
a
could
fat
get
resume.
a part-time job and really push yourself as an artist for commissions, I suppose, and then like work on shit.
No, that's hell. I don't advise that even in the slightest.
Find a firm that does
'Cause
like.
then it's like
some
you're
kind of
working two
production
part-time
company.
jobs at the same time, and you will burn out. You will.
That is true.
It ain't worth it.
What would I know about that?
Man is sobbing.
Too
Like-
busy to be big YouTuber, too driven to not to
Yeah, literally.
Fuck.
It's like a you get 252 in each stat, and you can't
Oh
put them all
my
in all of them.
We're not. No, don't you dare make this a Pokemon analogy.
Oh my
That was the
god!
stupidest reference.
You've only got 580 Vs, man. You gotta distribute them, you know.
Boomers are like, why don't you just work harder, dude? Back in your day, you could max out all your stats.
No, you didn't even. That's not even true. You could max out half of all your stats and get by with it. No, you can't do that. If you're not maxing out a stat to the tippy top, if you're not putting 252 adamant in one of your stats, bro, you're not getting there.
Motherfuckers
That's a kind of
running
deep
it.
metaphor because that's even the case in Pokemon right now. If you're not,
What do you
Yeah.
mean that's even
you're
the
not
case in
max
Pokemon? This is a
252 plus nature
Pokemon
with the life form,
metaphor.
you're not killing anything. Fucking.
I thought that's what you were talking about.
Hey, literally, then it's a good ass metaphor.
Oh my
I literally
god.
thought you were just describing Pokemon there. I'm lost.
Yeah.
Real shit though. Art wise, at the very least, is like if you want to grow. If you have like I feel like every artist has like a where they want to go or where they want to be with their art. Not just let me say like creator. Creator's a better word for that.
Yeah.
Not like artists making paintings, but just like somebody that wants to be making shit. Out the box, you're not going to be making exactly what you want to be making unless you have like super low standards.
Yeah.
Which is just like not how people work. But like
Yeah.
to get to that point requires like energy and like dedication and like time mainly is like the biggest resource into that is like
Yep.
what is the path, how do I walk this path, is this path walkable in tandem with another one that I'm being forced down. That's the real unfortunate part is like
Yeah.
you gotta go to school, gotta get a job, gotta do this, gotta do that. Where's the time for you? Oh shit, you forgot, and then now you have no
Yeah.
time. 'cause
Yeah.
now you're stuck in job.
Yeah, no, that's like
Taking breaks is seriously
that's
important.
literally what I'm stuck in at the moment. It's like a combination of having to like work full time and then not having the energy to do like content stuff when I get home, but like still wanting to do it and then feeling shit because I'm not doing it. And then when I do have time, I don't do it because I'm cringe.
Because you're tired.
No, something else took all your energy.
It's your day off to recover from all of what you've been doing. And trying to load up that day of recovery with something else to do, it just doesn't work. That's not what the body's meant to do.
Yeah,
dude,
last
summer I was working.
You gotta work on your breaks.
Yeah, last summer I was working 10-hour days, and I really wanted to get partnered on Twitch. So I would come back from my 10-hour workday. I would get up at 7, and I would get home by like 5 at the latest, and then I would start streaming at 5:30, and I would stop streaming at 7:30, and I'd go to bed at 8.
Oh my god, dude, you're insane.
You just spent the entire day working, and there was no downtime. It was just just work and then go to bed, and then.
And guess where I am now because of that hard work I put in. Waiting for Twitch to accept my damn partnership application.
Didn't the application get like a little fucked up? Didn't you get the wrong region or something?
Yes, I put the wrong region because my computer autofilled Afghanistan because it was the first option. And it's like, hey, the time for us to get back to you varies by region. And I go, I wonder how many Twitch employees are out in Afghanistan.
Like 0.
It's just a guy.
Like 5.
It's one guy.
One guy.
There's no method to resubmit. There's no way to put a ticket in to tell them that you messed up. And there's literally no option there. It just says, your application's still under review. Yeah, no shit.
Yeah,
you, like,
that is
raise
fucked
hell
up.
on Twitter? Because I heard that's like maybe the only other avenue for that.
If I don't have it back in a month, I'm going to raise hell on Twitter and be like, dude, you have no idea how many acquaintances I have.
Break out the connections.
I have spoken to so many people
I'll be
one
like,
time.
Did you know that I know Michael who knows Chimpact who knows Joey?
The line there is like cut in half. Michael knows Joey.
No, he doesn't.
I have so many half connections, it's insane. The amount
Don't
of
make
people
me.
that I could slide into their DMs and have a conversation. I could do that, but I don't because I don't talk to them often.
Listen, we can do this the easy way, which is me contacting Joey, or we can do this the hard way, where I contact Michael, who contacts Joey, who contacts fucking Nappy.
Like 50 people. Nappy. Oh god.
Wrong guy.
Wait, wrong guy. What?
Bad guy.
Bad guy. Yeah, no, I thought it was the bad guy.
He is the bad guy.
Bad guy. Bad man.
It's a little strange, dude.
A little strange. You know, we were
I'm
thinking about
thankful
doing a
for
cage
y'all.
lock, and every time I think about cage lock, I think about Nappy, and now I'm like, man, do I want to do this cage lock?
Can we
Yeah.
talk about that? That was a weird time for Pokemon. Like I want to say Showdown getting bigger Pokemon on YouTube. So like, what were they called? Like Lumio Station Crew? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, they would do Showdown
old,
lives.
Like 20, I want to say 14 to 2016.
When like
Pokemon
having 10,000
YouTubers.
subs on YouTube was like huge
Yeah.
for Pokemon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When Aaron Zhang had like 5,000.
Nah, like VGC was like not even on the radar on the old Pokemon YouTube like at all. It was
Yeah.
all like playthroughs and like top 5s and like
Yeah,
You know what I'm
free
talking
for
about?
This is
I
the
miss
era of
golden
the
era
top
of
5.
free-for-all.
It was the era of the top 5.
free for alls. Yeah.
Yeah.
A Brandon to the past, that, like, you know.
Brandon to the
But, like-
dude, you just like triggered like a fucking memory for me.
All right, here's one that some of you might not get. Aquablade 11.
I don't remember the names.
I don't
at
know
all.
that.
Oh yeah,
But it felt like
it's one you've
everybody's
definitely
content
seen,
was
but you
the
don't know.
Exact same. Am I tripping
Yeah.
on saying that?
Yeah,
No,
no,
you're
right.
right.
You're right. Because it was.
And it feels like a lot of it died off, unfortunately. And I don't even know if that's unfortunate or not. Because, like,
It probably
I'm
isn't.
not going to lie.
It was
I
all
did
very
used to be a
samey.
King Nappy fan. I did, like, before I knew he was a psycho cringe freak motherfucker. But, like, I don't know. Some of, like, how do I say this? It felt like what happens when you're a little kid watching, like, Cartoon Network or some shit. And a show that is going somewhere that you kind of like a lot just dies.
Yeah.
That's not with Nappy. That's like deserved, right? But like I'm talking more so just that era of content of like you said, cage locks, like we said, like top 5s or anything like that. it feels like it's just not there at all anymore. And maybe that speaks to
I
just being
think
shit content.
I
but,
think what happened is like this is around the time that A Drive started to take off, and he like bridged. He was like a bridge between like the playthrough community and because imagine
like, the
Shady
more
Penguin.
casual community,
So imagine Shady Penguin being like the casual community, and imagine Joey being like the competitive community, and the A Drive is literally smack right in the middle, and he collaborates with both of them.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. Is it got mixed, and then people started to like distribute themselves among the niches within the community.
I think that's what I'm getting at. There are like a lot of niches now.
Shiny hunting, like
Shiny hunting's
that's always
the
been a
biggest,
thing,
yeah.
Shiny
but
hunting,
like
draft league, fucking showdown, even showdown within showdown. This is like the first kind of instance of this, because it's been popping up more and more lately of like niches within showdown. You have your temp T60 or whatever his name is. You have your freeze eyes. You have your, like
Yeah.
that shit's crazy to me that there's like
niches within the niches.
niche, yeah, and that they're big. Like showdown is
Yeah.
kind of getting a little bit.
Showdown's
bigger
getting
than I
there,
thought it
and
ever would.
it's getting a little bit concerning, and I have a theory. Michael, go into your browser and type in PokemonShowdown.com, not play.PokemonShowdown.com.
Wait, is there a thing?
Yeah, type in PokemonShowdown.com. Do not go to play.PokemonShowdown.com.
It's down for maintenance.
Exactly. It's been down for maintenance for like a week and a half.
Oh.
If you go to play.PokemonShowdown, where everyone who already knows how to play goes, it's up. So the homepage that takes you to Pokemon Showdown is down for maintenance.
Oh, are we getting
I'm
too
thinking-
big to the point where it's like
I'm thinking we're getting a little too big.
Yeah.
I don't know
Oh.
though.
I think we're entering DMCA territory because the reason Showdown's consistently in beta is because if they do a full release, that's an instant DMCA.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
like I think it's been that way forever. It's not like Showdown's implementing new features, right? It's because
Well, it is. Each generation, they're implementing new features.
Yeah.
That's you know what I mean, right? Like this,
Yeah.
I'm more so talking about like the fact that this is creators making Showdown bigger than it is Showdown making Showdown bigger.
Yeah.
'Cause it's not like Smogon that's big. It's not tiers that are big. It's like the concept of Pokemon Simulator Online that's big.
Yeah.
The concept of download Minecraft free is big.
Down.
Imagine how big Showdown would be if they put up advertisements, play Pokemon free.
Yeah.
That would be ridiculous because I get those kinds of ads for Pokemon
Imagine
games
how
all the
big
time.
it would be if that happened.
Yeah.
Because they can't, because they'll get DMCA'd.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm
like
more so
that's
just trying to
that's
think
the
of, like,
thing.
what
Like
is-
imagine if they could just say that the website exists, because that's the thing. No one ever hears about Pokemon Showdown in any other way other than word of mouth or a video.
I mean, that was that one time. the clip of the guy in like, was it finals or was it like of the RCIC in 2020? It was like, oh yeah, we just
Was the guy who said Showdown by name? He was like, yeah, I like
stole-
ghosted the guy on Showdown.
I remember
password
that.
That was the
Pikachu.
beginning. That was 2020. That was right before Collinsville. That was
Password is
OCIC.
Pikachu.
Yeah.
Dude, I was.
That
it's
was
crazy
so
enough,
funny.
Like,
That'd be a
like,
great
low-key
lore
part of
vid.
that story, but like not at all. I was the one
That'd be a
getting farmed.
phenomenal word.
Wait, really?
Yeah, I was the one losing. This story's nuts because this was that team that was like Gengar, Bisharp, Togekiss with the Togekiss's weakness policy, and the Gengar is Icy Wind and Sludge Wave for speed
Yeah.
control
Yeah.
and Togekiss policy activation. That way you could do like Icy Wind plus Assurance Bisharp type shit. There's so many like new fringe combos that just weren't being used at the time with that team.
Yeah.
The person at OCIC logged onto the account that was beating my ass all night with that team. That was, I think,
Oh.
what's their name? I think Lucamere might have been like some type of a part of it. I
I
don't
th-
actually know, but that like
wasn't
that
it-
kind of crew.
Wasn't
right?
it Nails?
I think it was Nails.
I thought it was.
It was a lot of. It was. Let me tell you, it was a lot of guys because there was a lot of people. Like I'd load up the game and then like 50 people on the same account would talk.
I thought specifically it was like Nails who made the team who they stole it from. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Regardless, I was getting my ass beat all night. Right. Next day, OCIC happens. I hear that. That's insane, right?
Yeah.
Day after that is whatchamacallit, my first MSS. And I play somebody that's using that exact same team. So I was like, you might have been in that fucking call. This was Chongjin Peng. He won one of the first USA Salt Lake City. I play him at my tournament. I know his team perfectly, and I'm like, dude, this is insane. I just got my ass beat like 6 times by this exact same team. So what I can do is play as if I know, like I don't know what's gonna happen. So I'll lead my normal like, okay, Gothitelle Durant, I get to win. But like what I don't know is that they can click Icy Wind Max Flare and just one shot the Durant. But I did know that shit. So I switched the Durant into Milotic, get the Icy Wind drop, tank the Max Flare, reverse sweep with the Dynamax Milotic. And he was like, like at the end of the set, he was like, dude, you, like, what? Did you expect any of that? Like, did you know I was going to click Icy Wind? And I was like, yeah, I know the team. And it was like, oh, because at that point, it was like a 1-day-old team. Like, not many have seen it.
Oh my god.
That's the crazy thing about Pokemon is just the way that teams spread. It's like, how do I say it? If a team wins a tournament, that becomes the most popular team on Showdown for a week.
Yeah.
If a team comes close to winning a tournament and has a cool Pokemon, you're going to learn what it does. And then if there's like a team that is just being thrown around on ladder and like doing really well and everyone's faced it at some point, you don't get the exact version of the team that you faced, but like, how do I say it? You're going to get someone else's version because they saw it, took the idea, and adapted on it.
Yeah. Well,
because it's hard to tell exactly what's going on. Like that's the weird part for me.
The most fun part about that story that I like most in hindsight is that like if your opponent thinks you don't know something, they're gonna play in a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Or like
they're just gonna play it straightforward.
Yeah, so take it in like a more modern context. I'm gonna use Colossal because like there's no fucking modes anymore in this game. But like, say the Colossal player expects to get the Aqua Jet weakness policy shit off, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And they don't think that the opponent knows what Colossal does. This is okay.
Imagine being back in 2019.
Like, yeah, think about, like, the advent of Colossal. Like, you see Colossal, and you're like, oh, what's it going to do? Activate weakness policy? And then it does, and it's like, oh, shit. It actually did that. I don't actually know what I'm trying to say anymore. But Colossal's such a bad example for that. What's a better example for this? It's like, I guess Grimmsnarl tricking items is kind of a cool,
yeah, that's a fair one.
The better one. Where it's like, well, what are you going to do, stupid? Give me a lagging tail?
And then it did.
Yeah.
And then it does. but it now, take that example, right? Getting tricked a lagging tail. Imagine you expect that, but your opponent will never ever know this. You switch your Pokemon into a Pokemon that gives him like a sticky barb or some shit. And it's like, yeah, get your whole ass red.
Sticky barb.
Like something
Sticky
so
barb.
neat, something that like a scenario that would never
Like an
happen,
assault
basically.
vest. An assault vest.
Yes, there you go. That's a
there
better
you go.
one. Like a scenario that doesn't just happen all the time, where it's like, oh yeah, this is very clearly the counterplay to this, because it just doesn't happen, right? It's like it's a counterplay that you invented like on the spot. That's the shit I love. That's the shit that like I honestly kind of miss in this current series and current format. Cause, like,
it's a dual restricted issue, and I think it's also a Dynamax issue. I've been thinking about it, and I was hoping that it wouldn't happen, but both the dual restricted formats that I've played in have kind of just slowed down into what feels like rock paper scissors. It's not exactly rock paper scissors.
There's just no modes. Like
there's no modes. You've got your
I saw a team today
two legendaries, and you know what they're gonna do.
I saw a team today. It was Zacian, Kyogre, Incineroar, Rillaboom. Or no, it wasn't Rillaboom. It was Zacian, Kyogre, Incineroar, Grimmsnarl, Amoonguss.
Zapdos?
I think it might have actually been Rillaboom as the last. But like, there's no mode there. You know what I'm saying?
You click buttons and you do damage. That's what the swordfish do.
Unless you want to distinct the modes as like the leads, and then you have like Grimmsnarl and Incineroar lead that lets you pivot out on shit, and then you have like Grimmsnarl plus fucking, I don't know, Kyogre mode. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no fucking there's no, where did the synergies go? The synergy now is all just my other restricted beats what the other restricted can't beat. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's how the restricted formats just are, and I'm not the biggest fan of it. I mean, it's not awful. I still enjoy playing the video game, but not as much as I would if this was just like regional decks.
Brady here tried to play Regigigas Wheezing at his tournament the other day too.
It was based.
Melbourne Regionals.
Melbourne.
Fucking dude, the fact that Regigigas Wheezing is like considered like mid now is like really.
Dude,
Yeah.
apparently there are a bunch of people using Regigigas Wheezing on the weekend. Like a decent amount of people were using it, like just based on what I was being told by other people. And I was like, I was talking to a friend, and I was like trying to play it off as so I was like, oh really? People are using Regigigas Wheezing, and then me knowing that I had a Meanwhile, in my team, there was a Regigigas and a Wheezing.
Meanwhile, in the fortress of neutralizing.
Oh shit, he knows.
The boys.
But yeah, no, I had Melbourne Regionals this weekend.
Melbourne.
Stop.
It's really
Marcus.
unfortunate because like I had fun fact, apart from like me recording videos with Marcus, I actually hadn't played the game in like 2-3 weeks.
Yeah, I'm very disappointed.
So I was going in like no practice, no nothing. The only thing I had was the team and the viewing experience of Michael taking it on ladder. And I'm
It
just
honestly is a hype team, though.
and just like taking it, like thinking about different like flow charts for like popular archetypes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sad you didn't fight any Tailwind.
Yeah, I didn't fight. I was running Talonflame on the team, so the team. Hold on, I'll reveal what the team was because it's probably just going to become content. It was a Kyogre Kyurem team with a Kyurem White team with Regigigas Wheezing, Talonflame, and Barrascuda.
Super duper anti one specific type of team.
I took three cores and slapped it on a team and said, "Yep, these sort of synergize well."
This'll do.
And then I was like, all right, well, Talonflame is good for dealing with opposing Whimsicards, and then didn't face a single Whimsicard. And then
Yeah.
I had prepped for specifically I had prepped for Palkia Calyrex stuff and like rush around Calyrex stuff. And then I faced a guy who was using Palkia Calyrex, but he was using a Chandelure, and that fucked me up. So I couldn't do shit about that. My Max Quake from Kyurem didn't cater for the Chandelure like at all. I couldn't get to see if it was Sash or Mental Herb, so I never got the chance.
Wait, it just lived it?
Yeah, I just lived the Max Quake from Kyurem. By the way, it's a Focus Sash Kyurem, not a Life Orb, because Life Orb is on Regigigas.
See, that's your issue.
How did it live then?
No,
Jesus.
there's no way. Listen, I'm a big Kyurem hater, but if you make me run Kyurem, there's no way I'm not running Life Orb under any circumstances.
You're not? You have to run...
Yeah, I need to run Life Orb.
That's fair. Like, I was considering changing the Regigigas item to, like, Lum or something. But,
Silk Scarf would honestly do it.
yeah. I was looking for an item, and just, like, Focus Sash actually came in clutch a few times, which was pretty good. But, like,
That's hype.
I guess if I had for Life, I would have been able to tell. But, yeah, no, I didn't do very well.
Boosting items, I think.
Yeah. I didn't end up doing very well. I went like 2-3 and then dropped at around 6 because, fun fact, when the venue doesn't allow you to have like any drinks in the venue, and there's no lunch break, and you got to play 7.
And it's Australia, so it's hot as hell.
I mean, it's
winter.
It's winter at the moment, so it's actually really freezing.
Oh, I forgot.
That's still fucked up.
It doesn't help because it makes you not want to go outside.
No lunch break and 7 rounds of play.
That's insane.
And it took like over an hour and a half before the rounds even started because it was supposed to start at 9:30 and we didn't start playing until like just before 11. And I'd been there since 8.
Dude,
I
that
hope to God
sucks.
Milwaukee is not like that. It shouldn't be. But
I didn't even know you were going to Milwaukee until yesterday.
that's crazy because I definitely talked about it multiple times
Yeah,
on this
yeah.
podcast.
I think whenever you said Milwaukee, I just auto-filled it to be Indianapolis because I remember you going there.
Yeah.
I thought you were like talking about where you were gonna go and then afterwards what you wanted to do.
Nah, I'm excited as hell for Milwaukee. The issue is now though, after Brady's little like team escapade of very very unique team, I'm just like shit. I think what I'm bringing might not be as up
it
to
a little-
snuff as I thought it was.
Is it a little
See,
silly?
It's a modified version of what I brought to Indiana, but like the issue with that is it was made for Indiana explicitly to beat Rinyasun, and it did that twice. Like I never lost.
Yeah,
to
Rinyasun
in that
isn't
tournament.
popular anymore.
That's the issue, because now I removed the one Pokemon that beats the fuck out of Rinyasun, and now the team feels like it has no identity. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
Fun fact,
I
my
think
one
I'm still trying to force modes onto it, but like it can't do that.
fun fact, one of my wins was a Rinyasun team. Smile.
There you
Thanks.
go.
There.
Like I'll be fine if I fight it. I think I just need that at the very least have like.
Wait, you're removing Gothitelle from the team.
No, I'm removing Thun.
See, I'm nervous as hell for Milwaukee.
You're bringing a Buzzwole, so that's.
Yeah, listen, I was originally gonna bring Blastoise, and I said, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it up to choice because I'm a little conflicted.
Yeah.
And then everyone was like, nah, bring the Buzzwole. I'm like, okay, I know how
That's-
to play it well.
That's so hype of you. I really like the Buzzwole team.
I'm literally just like, I know how to play the Buzzwole team well. I can do really good with it. I hit top 500 on ladder with it the other day. And I'm like, okay, I can play this very, very well. I just don't have best of 3 practice with it.
Yeah.
So I need to practice with it because I can tell you something. The Blastoise team I made is incredibly consistent to the point where I'm like, barring the fact that there are no memes on here other than Incineroar 2, and Incineroar 2 at this point has transcended being a meme.
Yeah.
It's
Like, it isn't a
surprising.
very me team, if that makes sense.
yeah.
It isn't very me.
That's
Where's
fair.
the unique evil type guy? I know what you mean.
Yeah.
I don't know. For me, it's more so like I think every team I've ever brought to a tournament has like just that one matchup that's just you're so goated versus.
Yeah.
If it's not to bring it back to the beginning of the episode because that metaphor was really cringe, but like think about it in like terms of stats. If you have that one stat that's just maxed the fuck out, I have a matchup that's maxed the fuck out, right? Like just the team that I brought to Indiana, right? Dunks hard on Rinyasun. Like that's the point. I beat all of it. That's what I maxed out for that reason because it was very popular. The other thing that I was planning on playing that in that tournament a lot was Trick Room, and it turned out by maxing that out, right, it just so happens to have a pretty goddamn good matchup versus Trick Room too. Not like 100-0, but like still pretty goddamn good in my favor.
Yeah.
And I beat most of the Trick Room teams that I fought, if not all of them actually. Yeah, no, I did. I fought 3 things at Indiana: Rinyasun, Trick Room, and Kyogreization Grimmsnarl.
Sounds about right.
The downside to that is I had no matchup into Kyogreization Grimmsnarl, and I fought 3 of them, so that's what knocked me out of the tournament.
Jesus.
But like, I think that's what I'm getting at is like this format really wants you to be like a very well-rounded type thing.
But you can't
Because
do
you
that.
can't go fully off in one direction, right? Yeah, and I think
Yeah, that's
what
just
I'm used
restricted
to.
formats, though. That's really just restricted
Yeah,
format.
it's so
And this is your
hard
first restricted
to
format, truly.
Account for
It is.
everything. That's what sucks about it.
And I
Restricted
feel like,
formats test your overall skill as a player, where other formats you can lean less
Test
on
your
that
team building skill.
and do more. Yeah, more in team builder. This one's more in battle. Other formats are more in team builder.
yeah.
Because like even the very beginning of Sword and Shield, plus I'm gonna also count BDSP as this, is it felt like I could build. Like that was the first time that I was like, oh fuck yeah, dude, I love building in this game. This is so fun. Like even in singles, I didn't fucking like building. So like,
Yeah.
the fact that VGC comes around and is like, hey, you're actually kind of good at building. You can figure this shit out. I got a fucking like brain team with Porygon Z up to really high ladder in BDSP at the very beginning, and I was like, dude, this is so cool. Like this feels nice, right? Like this idea, execution, they both happened. Right?
I'm telling you, regional dex formats are the only good ones.
I've been saying
not
that,
true.
but like,
But-
it sucks because towards Players Cup formats, right? I think it was series, like 8, 9, and 11 or something like that.
I think you're right.
The ones where it was like fucking Regieleki, Dark Urshifu.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Or like
The good
Grimmsnarl,
ones. The
Porygon,
good ones.
Metagross type shit. Like
The good formats.
Those formats. I don't even know. I like them. I don't think I have disdain for them. But I think that was when the building really started to grind to a halt for me. Like I still felt like I could build around then, but it felt like there was too much to cover, if that makes sense. It was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
okay, this team, I have like all 3 of these cores, I have all of these modes, this is so good. But fuck, what do I do in a Grimmsnarl P2, right? That was what I had that
Yeah,
exact.
oh my god, I remember that exactly. because I
That's
had
why
that
Spectre
problem
that
picked
too.
up.
exact thing into one of the Players Cups where it was like, fucking Temporal Alyssa hosts this like 300 person ladder tour, and I get 4th in that with the team that I had planned to take to the Players Cup qualifier, and I was like, dude, that's so fucking hype. Like this team worked so goddamn well, right? During the qualifier, it felt like overnight everyone was like, oh, let me run Grimmsnarl P2 now, and now my team sucks balls, and it's
Yep.
like, fuck, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
Yup.
Pokemon, when these better Pokemon come out, like, whatever, like national dex formats or restricted formats, it feels like it's way more matchup fishing than it ever has been prior, I think.
That's yeah.
that make
That's yeah. And you're saying it because it's your first time playing it, but it's true.
It's just
Most
always
other
like
people
that.
have most other people have accepted that for restricted formats that it's very matchup dependent.
I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm,
And
I'm mad about
but
it still.
Saying that, it's one of those things where you say like that has a very clear answer to it, right? Where it's like there's two paths to this answer, right? If you want to have a good team in this format, you either A, have something that's good into everything, or B, fight exclusively, or like pray you fight exclusively what is what you think
Good
you're gonna fight.
matchup.
Does that make sense? Yeah, like get
Yeah.
the matchup fish right, basically.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Which is like,
what
I don't
I'll
like
say,
that.
what I'll say is that like I'm cool with it as someone who like really really loves team building. I personally think that this is a good exercise for me because most of my teams rely on me building them well enough that I can outplay a bad matchup. For this format, the fact that it restricts my team building to the point where it's like, okay, I can't use that and I need to focus on my plays, like that's important for me. I like restricted formats strictly because they help me get better as a player.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's a good way to look at it. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I don't feel better as a player by playing this shit. I'm not gonna lie, I feel way worse.
Yeah.
So here's the thing. You need to toss away a couple of your like team building ideas, hop on with a really really standard team for a while and just play. And eventually you'll get a hang of like you'll realize like, okay, yeah, I can play against this team, I can play against this team, I can play against this team with like standard like Zacian Kyogre or like Zacian Groudon or like Calyrex Zacian, like the 3 big Zacian ones, right? Mm-hmm. And then by the end of that like long hiatus from using stuff that you want to use, you're like, all right, now when I team build, I know what I'm looking for in preparing for every matchup, because the reason those 3 archetypes do so well is because they don't have any explicitly losing matchups. They do well into everything,
Yeah.
and they don't do amazing into some things, but you can outplay a bad matchup with those teams.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's just
So
a ball. There's no
it-
spikes on this ball that can go point into one specific team.
it helps you know what to look for when you're building.
That makes a lot of sense.
So when I built like the Buzzwole team, I'm like, oh, okay, so here's why I'm using Regieleki on this team, because if And that's when I switched to like Life Orb Regieleki, because I've been like a huge Life Orb Regieleki hater and like physical wild charge. Now I run that because you just take KOs versus Zapdos, you take KOs versus Thundurus, and that opens the door for Buzzwole to be able to do what it needs to do, which is one-shotting Incineroar, walling out Calyrex Ice, being able to 1v1 Zacian. And I didn't like that I had to like switch to Life Orb Regieleki for a while, but after playing it, I'm like, okay, this is now a well-rounded team that does everything it needs to, and I get to use Buzzwole. Like that's what I do with restricted formats. It just helps me learn.
That makes a lot of sense, actually. I'm gonna start doing that, actually, because I've been stuck on like what I want, what kind of team I want to use. So I think just finding the standard of the standard, and then learning how that works. Figuring out how they
play
function.
standard, yeah.
And then from there I can make something
play
up
standard. You play standard, get good at standard, build different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because then you're able to use. It sounds weird. It's like, hey, I am using this Gillette razor with little guards on it. It's very unlikely I'm going to hurt myself using this razor while I shave my legs or arms or whatever. But it's now that I know how to use this, now that I know, exactly what I need to do when I'm shaving, I'm going to switch to the cutthroat razor, like the single blade one that barbers use. And yeah, maybe a few times I might hurt myself while I'm shaving, but I know the gist of what I'm supposed to do with it,
Yeah.
It's like taking the training wheels off. And that's not to say basic teams are training wheels, because they're not, because they're legit, It's to say that for people who want to build with some crazy stuff, those are the training wheels you need to use for a while to get your fundamentals down.
Yeah, I completely agree. And whenever my friends say I want to play Pokemon, they open up the team builder. First thing I say, hey, I could give you a team, and then it's better to work with that first.
I'm gonna step on your dreams.
I don't want to step on your dreams.
I'm gonna step on your dreams for about a week here. Play with this, get good at this, and then switch to something else. Like when Leah was first learning VGC, she's still very beginner, but she's like getting better, right?
Yeah, that's hype.
I believe the highest she's climbed is top of Ultra Ball, and then she just like didn't play for a while. She definitely could have hit Master Ball, she just like didn't.
Yeah.
And that was the season that I gave her Mimikyu Metagross.
Yeah, I remember
and
this.
Mimikyu Metagross with Politoed Kingdra. She's like, oh, these are all cool looking Pokemon. And that's the best part. Leah has no concept of what's standard. So she just looks at these. She goes, these are cool looking. And she loves them.
Yes.
And I'm like, so here's what you do. If you want to use Metagross, or you should usually go with Swift Swim. But if you encounter something that isn't good, that Swift Swim isn't good against, here's a list of things that Swift Swim's really bad against. Switch to Mimikyu Metagross, and when you use Mimikyu Metagross, all you gotta do is set up Trick Room, Shadow Sneak, and start max quaking and steel spiking things. She goes, okay, and she learned how to use it. And now I can hand her anything, and she's gonna use it. However, because we're going to a regional, I handed her a Colossal.
I mean, Colossal just won Melbourne. Melbourne was...
Wait, really?
Yeah.
One Melbourne? Whoa, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That's insane.
Sam Pandelis run with a Colossal team.
Nice seed 6.
That's fucking crazy. Because I was gonna say,
Zelda
Marcos, you're giving her Colossal in this era, in this economy. But hey, if it won a regional, hell yeah.
Like, my justification for handing her Colossal was quite literally, how did I do it? So basically it was like, hey, Colossal isn't considered very good in this format, but here's what I'm gonna tell you. No one's prepared for it.
Yep.
And that's what you want to do at a tournament. if you're just starting, just fish people who aren't prepared. And she goes, what do you mean? I'm like, here's what you're gonna do. Even if you think the matchup's bad for Colossal, your Dragapult's gonna surf, you're gonna max rock whatever is in front of you that's most dangerous, and then you're gonna bring Zacian and Rillaboom in the back and start cleaning up. And she did that for like 10 games straight, didn't lose a single one. She goes, this is really strong. And I go, do you want to know why? Why? No one's prepared for it right now. Because they all think it's bad.
You're so right.
And it's not bad, it's just currently not great.
It's the cycle of fucking rock, paper, scissors, right? It's like, oh, I'm running this thing to beat what's currently popular. And then the thing that's, beats what's currently popular gets beat by some other weird shit, right? But that weird shit loses to what's currently popular. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yep.
Yeah.
I got a Life Orb Fire Punch Urshifu in the builder right now. That's the type of fucking, weird shit that I'm on right now. It's like...
Okay. Okay.
I just don't think that's good.
There's two ways to answer this, right? There's two ways to answer what I'm gonna start saying is just answering the format, right? Of like, how do you get ahead of the curve, right? How do you get ahead of predicting what's going to be used at the next regional you're going to, or the next format or event that you're going to, right? Mm-hmm. Building like the perfect thing that is like anti what's good right now. Mm-hmm. But also not just like 100 or 0-100 matchup in favor of all the other weird shit that you might fight. Like I think there's been like more Tapu Koko at all of these past regionals than like I think I've ever seen ever.
Shout out to Blood VGC. Tapu Koko has literally sauce. It's actually really
Tapu
good.
Koko very good.
And it's like
it's
I
never
didn't
been
play
bad.
a single. Well, actually, I did. I played one Tapu Koko at Indiana, but it didn't come to the game. If I guarantee you, if I change my team and then like I have to play a Tapu Koko at Milwaukee, I'm not gonna know what the fuck it does at all because I've just not played it yet.
Also,
that being said, like
you go. Sorry.
that's the thing of like how they're getting ahead. That's how they're choosing to do that. The issue is like, does it work? Right? Like making something work, I think, is like I think to speak to what Marcos was saying is like kind of the key of this. It's just really hard to find that.
Yeah.
You know what? Tapu Koko is actually what I brought to Players Cup 2 regionals. And the reason I brought it is because at the time everyone was using Screen's Regieleki, and I went, "You guys are dumb." And that was literally it. Because Amoonguss was everywhere, Regieleki was everywhere, and I went, "Okay, here's a happy medium. I don't go to sleep under Trick Room, and also I can take a hit." And I ended up that was a very sad tournament for me because I was playing so damn good. And I think it was Kyle Livinghouse that knocked me out of the tournament. And it was because my AV Kartana behind Screens got crit by like a Max Lightning and I died. And that knocked me out and I was so mad because I was like, oh, I was going to do really good in this tournament. I could feel it.
Mm-hmm. And real quick,
that's just how it is.
The recent Victory Road tournament that was going on today, the results just came out. Guess what got first place? Colossal.
Rinya's son?
Colossal again?
Yeah, what? Literally 1 hour ago.
2 Colossals in a weekend?
Are we really in that side of the... Okay,
let's go.
We're on the third one again. The first one was like fucking Rinya's son. The second one was Assaultless Kyogre. The third one is now Colossal. That's what we're doing. Because now that means to get ahead at the next tournament, it's fucking Rinya's son again.
Yep.
Oh my god.
We're going into time as a flat circle.
You know what beats Colossal?
Kyogre?
You don't believe me right now, but Buzzwole.
How?
Damn, that's
Explain to me.
All right.
Anything beats anything, I think.
Anything beats anything if you're brave enough.
Yeah, true. You just got to be good. Just get good, honestly. Stop having bad matchups. Just
Dude,
play better.
I can't wait to tell Leah, hey, I just made the sickest metagame call of all
yeah,
time.
holy shit.
Yeah.
Oh, speaking of calls.
I literally, the team's in my team builder right now, and it's called Leah's Very Call Team.
Something that, like, is really, like... this stands out to me very heavily is like when I started, I think, well, okay, closer to when I started playing VGC for the first time, I was watching a whole lot of like Wolf videos and type like that kind of thing, right? But like more so not like him playing the current format, more so just like reminiscing about old format stuff.
Yeah.
Of like how to get ahead of the curve, right? Like what was the secret behind his like world champion team, like all that type of shit. And it's like breaking a format is something that's really been like, what's the word? Not like interesting to me, but like inspiring to me. Of like, I'm not trying to be like the next Pachirisu guy just because like we talk about that all the time and it's like kind of cringe to try and do that without any
Comparing everything to
prior
Pachirisu at
knowledge.
this point's so overdone.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah. But like what I more so mean is like if these teams that are so well rounded are just outplay, right? How big can you make that ball where it's like, okay, yeah, outplay, but at the very least it's a little bit in your favor. And then at that point you could even still afford that one spike of, yeah, this is that one team that I beat a lot, right? Like his Worlds team was specifically designed to have like perfect matchup into Big Six or whatever the fucking 2016, the same team everyone was running, right?
Yeah,
like the Rinya son of yesterday.
The Rocks.
Right?
Big Six, which funny enough had less results than Rinya's son. Rinya's son was more dominant than any other team we've really seen.
But like,
And then it isn't.
you get what I'm saying though, right? Like
Yeah.
Well-rounded. This is funny. Ash, every time we talk about Lunala on this podcast, neither of us get it. It's like, why is that thing real?
Why?
Like, I don't get that thing.
Why is he good?
I think I'm starting to understand it as I talk about this, is because it doesn't really, like, it's literally its ability, right? Its ability is perfect into the climate of restricted format in that you're not going to get one shot, whereas everything else fucking will, right? Or can, right? Where it's like, you have the ability to control speed, you have the ability to be strong, you have the ability to not die.
Yeah.
All three of those things, most other Pokemon have to pick two of. Lunala does all three.
I guess that's true, yeah.
You're fast, you're slow, you're strong, you're bulky.
Yeah, it does all. It's literally a perfect circle. There's no one spike off into any direction.
You can draw Lunala and it's pretty circular.
It's the moon.
Oh, that's fucking annoyingly weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be a fun video to make. Lunala, the circle.
The circle. I do want to say,
It's the circle of
speaking of calling things, remember last episode, or I guess the episode before this one in terms of upload order, when I was talking about how the gimmick could be future and past forms of Pokemon?
Yeah.
Michael sent me a tweet. Michael sent me a tweet yesterday from this wonderful artist.
Possible spoilers.
Oh yeah. This is a joke. It's not the gimmick of the game. It's just what I think would be cool for the gimmick. But they sent me this fan artist who made like a ancient version or a proto version of Primeape and Mankey, and then said, new idea speculation for the new gimmick in the Pokemon games, new dynamic with this hashtag proto-neoforms. Create a proto-neoform for the Pokemon. And it's like, people are hopping on this bandwagon. It'd be pretty cool if I called it.
Yeah.
The artist.
I really hope you're right, because we are like the very first people that said that shit too.
Yeah, I
mean,
don't know how to say their
video
name,
proof.
but I
That
put the
video
link
of
in the topics.
It was like the video of the what's her name? The girl who was like talking about the time crystal shit as well.
Yeah,
the quantum time crystal.
Yeah, like that's all like stuff that Ash like sort of big brained like over the past few weeks.
I hope that I'm right.
I could see it.
Right.
I mean, Legends Arceus could have been a big hint.
Yeah,
Like
if it's
old
connected to
forms of
Legends
Pokemon,
Arceus, I'm gonna be
like-
so happy.
Oh, like okay, so you know how like Groudon and Kyogre Primal Revert? Mm-hmm. I could see that being a thing. 'Cause
Yeah.
Possible spoilers. The leaker had mentioned that the gimmick could possibly, it's like an interpretation because he does it in fucking, riddles. He said that people are saying like, okay, the Riddler might have implied here that it's a new take on how megas are working. And I could see that possibly meaning that certain Pokemon get proto forms and certain Pokemon get neo forms.
Yeah.
Where it's like, here's a future Colossal, here's a past Colossal.
Yeah.
And they like get certain stat boosts. Like imagine like they min-max a certain way.
Yeah.
So if you proto revert a Colossal, all of a sudden it becomes insanely fast naturally, but loses all defenses.
Okay. Yeah. No,
Something like that could be so cool because that gives you the Mega Evolution or like new form effect where you can give buffs to certain Pokemon via stat redistribution or even just type change. But it's not blanket applied to every Pokemon. Like Dynamax.
Something that could be interesting actually is if you could just like if there's like a time machine, right? And you do it outside of battle. So it's like and you get and these proto or whatever forms are all pretty strong. They're almost like a restricted, right? But not quite. And it's like, okay, you can proto or you can revert or do whatever with one Pokemon per team.
Yeah.
And it's almost like a Z crystal. And they don't get an item. But like that's what
That's
it is.
what I was
it's like-
thinking,
It's
a form
like
change.
a mega it's like an orb. You know how orbs activated immediately?
Yeah.
It's like that. That would be interesting.
Ooh, I'd be
I
down
want
with
it to
that.
just be a form change. Like you take your Pokemon outside of battle, you give it this item or like how you need to use like the Lunizer, the Soulizer, or however you say it for the
like that.
to fuse, and same thing with the horses. Like I want it to be like that. Because
I don't want like another fucking animation in this.
yeah,
movie.
Please.
Okay,
Let me play the game.
You don't. I don't think anybody wants it, but I feel like Pokemon wants it.
No,
for, like,
I
marketing
don't.
Purposes.
No one does.
I'm really
Please.
tired of these VGC games taking 15 minutes. Let's just go ahead and add another animation to it just to make them just a little bit worse.
It will never
Yeah.
be bad. It will never be bad as Delta Stream looks. It will never get that bad.
Delta
again.
Stream lag in the game.
Delta Stream
Yeah.
lagging the whole fucking game.
Lagging the
That
game
shit
and also
literally
rendered
turned
in
me off from playing
240p.
VGC in Gen 7. That was the reason I didn't play VGC.
Delta Stream
Really?
was rendered in 240p,
Yeah,
dude.
that shit was ugly.
It's so funny. Who's that powerful? You just said no.
Yeah, it turned me off. Turned my weather off.
My favorite bit
You got
was the there's a video of a triple battle with 6 Moltres and the sandstorm up.
That.
Yeah, no, I've seen that one before.
Just
Yeah.
2 frames a second.
That's like
By the way, I have a theory. I don't know if I've talked about it on this podcast yet. You know how Nintendo Online is notoriously bad?
Yep.
Especially, it's really only on the Switch it's been noticeably like bad. Well, the Switch is also the first time we got the 60-minute timer removed. I'm thinking that like for extended periods of time, there's a higher chance that the game just disconnects.
No.
So in order to sort of mask that, that's why they've been getting rid of the 60-minute timer. They're like, okay, the game's disconnecting within a span of 20 minutes is super, super unlikely. But as soon as we go to 60 minutes, the chances of it disconnecting are pretty high. So let's just like quietly get rid of the 60-minute timer.
yeah.
Take the timer
That would
out
be
back
so
and shoot
fucked
it.
up.
No one will know.
That would be so fucked up if that's the case because just fix your online system, please. I'm begging you.
I'm kind of thinking that might be the issue
Yeah.
because they haven't acknowledged it at all. Like BDSP was developed by a whole different team. They didn't acknowledge it either. I'm thinking maybe they told them don't do 60 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, pain.
I mean, if Gen 9 comes back with 60 minutes, I'd be real happy. I don't even play singles. I just want them to have it.
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
It's just having that
They deserve it.
customability is just nice.
You know what I want?
What do you want?
I want a 6v6 ladder.
Doesn't that already exist?
I want a
All games
there
end
is
timeouts.
there is no 6v6 ladder. There's a 3v3 ladder for singles, but I want a 6v6 ladder, and it's unofficial. There's no ranking system, or not a ladder, but like a matchmaking system. Maybe there's no rank, but at the very least, Lil Timmy and Lil Joey Pokey-Aim can get online and face each other.
Yay, why would you call him that?
and all games will lead to timeout. Didn't that exist? That existed in what's that game? Not BDSP, not Legends. The Kanto one. Fucking
Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee?
Eevee.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That meant it
I
was
don't
silly.
no, that was peer-to-peer connection, so you were always able to 6v6.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Wait, no. Let's Go Pikachu Eevee had 60-minute timer, didn't it?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah.
Or it didn't have a timer at all.
Yeah.
It had a pretty decent online. It just didn't have a ladder, I don't think.
Yeah. So why the hell? No. So that proves that we can do it. So that debunks my claim. So why don't we have it?
Good
Go ask
question.
Pikachu, bro. I don't know.
It was stolen.
You want to know who
Stack,
else?
attack,
Oh, God damn it! I was gonna do a pun.
No, you do it, because that was ass, Brady.
Yeah.
It's not really a pun.
I've
I
been
was
ca-
gonna say, you
I
know who
got-
else is good at stalling out games?
There you go.
Stack attack.
Is that even true?
More
It's
of a
not,
sweet
dude.
it-
Every Pokemon gets a ground move.
Yeah.
Well, not right now, but
even
before.
Spectrier.
You got
A while ago.
boom dash.
For something with that big a defense, it really can't wall out anything.
I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry. How could you say that to him?
Maybe Spectrier was actually. Who said Spectrier? I forgot that guy existed.
Anyway.
Yeah, of course you did. We all forgot. Glastrier, there you go. Remember
'Cause now
Glastrier?
Zacians are being slower than
Let's
Spectrier.
talk about another formats.
Anyway, whoa, Patreon, Stack Attacker. I got carried the fuck out of this episode because I'm tired.
No.
And
Don't
Man,
blame
me
me.
too.
at all.
This whole episode, I was finishing my team.
You are all insane.
Halfway through the episode, when we started talking about like team philosophy and building, and Marcos went on that whole tangent, or not tangent, but the whole like,
I
very-
zoned.
I didn't zone out, I zoned in. I took all of those words to heart, opened the builder, and didn't say a goddamn word.
You're insane.
I zoned out and was like, "Yep, nope." The last thing I want to think about right now is Pokemon. Ew.
I just want to point out 100% of people who took my advice in this game went on to play a game.
Damn, that's crazy.
That's
wow,
crazy.
man, that's right?
Welcome to the Patreon. Woo, yeah. Thank you to Crazy Colton, Ken Marker, Plumber, Professor Gems, Ryan, and Tordra.
Totoro.
I don't fucking know. Tordra.
Nope.
I'm sorry.
He lives right next to me, dude.
I'm sorry if I don't say your name properly. Thank you for subscribing to the Patreon as well as everybody else.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I'm feeling a little bit bad because I didn't speak like at all. I spoke about Melbourne and then died.
It's okay. You're
just
sick
said-
of Pokemon. I get it.
It's
It's understandable.
Also excited for
Pokemon
Gen
off
9.
season for real.
Yeah.
So excited for Gen 9.
yeah, Gen 9. It right now it's just like GG go next.
We burnt out this game. We burnt out this game so hard because we were all trapped inside playing
Yep.
Literally COVID too. Like we had to start inventing formats.
it. We literally invented two formats.
Yep.
One of them
Shout out to TPCI because that's kind of impressive, honestly.
invent-
Dude, we even invented the format that was never going to be legal. The one with the taboos having the new moves.
I remember when everyone thought that. Holy shit. That was so funny.
We had a whole ladder.
Yep.
Why
We had a
don't they
whole
have
ladder
those,
for it.
by the way? It literally wouldn't even be that broken.
Lele would be broken, I think,
the fuck
but
it
only
wasn't.
Lele.
It does 25 dization.
You know what? If Bulu had Grassy Glide, I think it would still be worse than Hornleech.
Yeah.
Okay, snack attack.
Hornleech is just so based of a move.
Michael's
Alright.
gotta go.
Bye.
Goodbye,
gamers.
everybody. Thank you.
Goodbye. Thank you.
Bye.